live from the Real Guppy Dockside Learning and Multimedia Center. It's the Real Angler Podcast with community Kevin Brannon, brought to you by AFTCO Fishing Apparel and Tackle, designed to perform. Channel Islands Sport Fishing, offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats, and more. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. See what's out there. Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. And now, here's your host, community Kevin Brannon. Today's guest, Robert Dahl, founder and owner of Karls Village.
All right, so I think today we have an exclusive interview. Have you done an interview since you got the good news, or no? Is this the first interview?
First interview.
All right, so this is the first interview. We're here with Robert Dahl of Karls Land. We're so excited for the development or redevelopment of Channel Islands Harbor Fisherman's Wharf. We're here with the owner that's going to be taking over the property, Robert Dahl. We're excited. We were at the Coastal Commission. You've heard from Axel before on the podcast, leading us up to that. They've been very transparent on it. We've always been supportive whether or not we were going to stay at this facility or not. We knew that this area needed to be modified and something to be done, and we really cheered for you guys to get it. So we're super happy that you guys got the approval. So again, I'm here with Robert Dahl of Karls Land, and he's going to let you guys know the vision, the history. They have tie-ins here in Oxnard. I believe they're the biggest strawberry farmers, right, in Germany.
Right.
And your grandfather used to come out here to get tips from your father.
Yeah.
They used to come out here and get tips from the farmer. I see he has a tattoo of a strawberry on his arm.
Of course. I have more than one, but you can see this one.
Okay, that's the one that we want to see. So anyway, Robert, man, thank you so much for coming in today to be a guest, and again to give us the outline. We're excited for you guys. You already got the painting going out there on the lighthouse, and just go ahead and tell our viewers a little bit about some history. Again, we don't script anything here. We don't ask questions. We want to hear more of your story, what led you here, your legacy of the family business. We're building a family business, so it's inspiring for me myself, your guys' story. So yeah, just go ahead and tell the people some of your history and what your plans are, and we'll just keep the conversation going.
All right, thank you very much that I can be here. I know Oxnard already 40 years. 40 years ago, first time I have been here in Oxnard with my father. He's not alive anymore. He has been, like me, a strawberry farmer, like my grandpa. And my father always liked to exchange some experiences. So he came over to Oxnard and Watsonville every year, every winter to talk to other farmers, strawberry farmers, and so on. And
wise counsel, right? That's wise counsel. You're getting counsel from the people that know what they're doing to learn.
Of course. And every winter we had, when I was young, we had visitors from Oxnard, farmers in our house. One time, even one celebrated Christmas with us from Oxnard many years ago. And then when we started our amusement parks in Germany after several years, I said in an interview with a German newspaper, they asked me, what is my dream? And I told them it would be great if one day Karls would be in California. But it was not really serious what I said. But the parents of Axel, they are living in Germany, and they had this newspaper and they sent it to Axel. He was living in California. And then Axel sent me a letter, a real letter, not an email, a letter, by post, and asked me if this was serious. And I said, not really, but and he said, yeah, okay, but I will be after a month with my parents in Germany. Maybe we can meet. Then we met first time. We said, okay, nice guy. And I said, you know what? Maybe you should look for some sites in California. And when you found several sites, I will come over and we make a tour and have a look where Karls could be.
Wow.
Then we made this tour. And several locations in San Francisco and so on and so on. And then on this list, he said, and now we're going to Oxnard. I said, really, Oxnard? I know Oxnard, because all the strawberry farms. And I told him that I have been here many times. And then we came here to the harbor of Oxnard, saw this old fisherman wharf site, and I really immediately said, this is the one.
What does that timeline look like from when you made that quote in the newspaper to where
that is
to that tour
quite
that
a
you
long
guys did?
time due to COVID. We had a big break
Mhm.
because we came here. Axel and me met here 2020 in February 2020, and after this meeting, I think 1 week after the meeting, we had to close in Germany our 7 parks
Mhm.
because of COVID. Then we had a really hard time, like for almost 2.5 years, like everybody. And after all this COVID, we said, what about Oxnard? Maybe we should start again working on it. And then we got in touch with Michael Tripp,
Mhm.
and everything got started.
He's quite the gem to have Michael Tripp in here. I think him coming in, they're doing some modifications in another part of the harbor. I think that's a perfect. I put down destiny right there because that sounds like that
Yeah.
story. Sounds like it was meant to be. From a quote. I'm like a philosophical guy and look at things from a big picture to see how things happen. They don't just happen by coincidence or certain. That there's something in the universe working inside of that. And
Probably.
for you to say that and him coming out and finding it, and then Michael Tripp right now at a time where maybe previously that the development ideas were at a standstill, to somebody coming in with more of a vision and history of working with the Coastal Commission that could help facilitate maybe some of the things that you guys are doing. Previous leadership might not have as much success. So that's cool. So you said you have 7 parks in Germany. I always tell people I think you had about 10. Is it only in Germany, or do you have parks out besides here?
We are having them in Germany, and we are still growing in Germany because we want to make sure in 2035, in 10 years, that nobody in Germany should travel more than 60 minutes by car to visit Karls. So that is a lot of work in front of us right now, and we open next park in 2026 in June, in the middle of Germany, it's a city called Düsseldorf. I don't know if you know this.
When did you start your first one? How long have you been doing?
2008.
2008.
2008. We had the strawberry farm many years. When I started my own strawberry farm, 1993. But when we opened our first, what we called, like, if you would translate it, experience village, we call it Karls or Strawberry Village. Okay. That is what we call it in Germany. We do not say amusement park or theme park. It's a small theme park. And in 2008, we opened the first one.
And that was your baby? You opened the first one, or was it something your dad did together? Or that was your first?
No, that was my vision and my idea. But this team, of course, not every idea is from me. I had a nice team of 3 girls, 3 ladies, and this development team in Karls is quite big, more than 40 people in development. But this first team, they are right here, sitting there in our office, with Axel.
Right
which
now?
is it right now?
Oh, we're gonna go visit when we're done here. I want to decide here. And the reason I say that, man, is because I'm a visionary, and we have a guest today, and he's asking me these questions about, like, what made me want to do it, like, what did I, starting from nothing, getting in a nonprofit, what I didn't know, I just my little list right there of words that we live by, boldness, mindset, attitude, consistency, like those are the words that we teach when you're building, something from scratch, but you need that team of other visionaries or people that are just as excited with that energy to help you fulfill your mission and stuff, man. So I'm a nerd with that stuff. I think that's intriguing and cool.
Okay.
So is there a reason that made you want to start a theme park? Were people visiting your farms or something? Like, what made you deviate towards that from being a farmer?
We grow our strawberries, and we decided one day that we gonna sell them directly to the customer, not to supermarket chains. And so we started. My sister, when she many years ago, when she was young, she have been in England in a guest family. She lived in a family for a month, and they visited Wimbledon. Wimbledon is very famous for tennis match. Yeah. And she made pictures in 1989, so many years ago, and on one, not a smartphone, a real picture. And when she came home, she had these pictures, and on one of those pictures was a strawberry hut, a little kiosk in the shape of a big, huge strawberry, where people sold strawberries with whipped cream, because this is for Wimbledon is famous for strawberries with whipped cream. Okay. And my father saw this picture with this big, huge strawberry and said, we should start something like this in Germany and sell our strawberries directly to the customers. And then a boat building company, because boats are built from the same material, fiberglass.
Okay.
Like this big, huge strawberry kiosk. And then he started to do it. And when I started my own farm, it was immediately clear that we will have this strawberry kiosk. And now we operate 480 of this kiosk in all over Berlin and north part of Germany. And then when next to this kiosks, we also sold the strawberries from our strawberry farm. So a lot of private customers every day came in the harvest to the strawberry farm. And then we started to sell them a cup of coffee, a piece of cake, and some plush in the, like a strawberry plush and so on. And then one day I have seen a picture of an amusement park from Austria, and they had a tractor ride. Small, not so small tractors, old tractors on a track, 8 tractors. And I thought, when we would have this in our strawberry farm, more people would come and buy strawberries. And that was the beginning of the amusement park idea. And that was in 2007. So in 2008, we had this tractor ride, a Swiss company built it for us. And then we started this amusement park, and it was like a explosion for cars.
That's cool, man. Yeah. I know one of the words that I borrowed from Axel was edutainment.
Edutainment, yeah.
And I've been using that term now, just so you know. I borrowed it because of the stuff that we do, the hands-on learning, the kids touching it, and I teach about ecosystem and habitat. And, we go out to these Channel Islands, and I'm telling people about, because sometimes the fish don't bite.
Yeah.
So I got to come up with these cool stories or other neat information. Like he asked us, Zach here, about what was the weirdest thing that we, like, biggest thing or weirdest thing that we caught. And we'll catch a kelp or seaweed, and we could go through it, and I could find little animals in there, and I'll start teaching about what we're finding in the kelp. And that's when I started using the term, this is edutainment, because it's entertainment. The kids are in their family, wow, but I'm educating them on all this stuff that's going on in the ocean just off of a kelp and a couple of critters. So I kind of borrowed that term. Tell us, how'd you come up with that concept or the idea of the edutainment?
We came up with, when we started our first place where we now Karls is full of places where we produce food, like jam, candies, coffee roastery, and so on. But the first one was the strawberry jam cooking kitchen. We had not a lot of place, and so we said, okay, this kitchen must be in the middle of the shop. So every day we were cooking like 600 jars of strawberry jam inside the small shop. And when you enter the shop, you have got the smell of the fresh strawberry jam, and you see our staff cooking the strawberry jam. And our staff started talking about what kind of strawberries, what kind of recipe, and why our strawberry jam is better than other strawberry jams, and so on and so on. And then we learned, okay, the people love it. And then all of the people bought strawberry jam. So we said, okay, we should do more of that. Then we started to make candies. Candy making is really a nice experience. And then we started that our staff is wearing headsets 3 times a day for half an hour. They put a headset on, and they really explain what they do. And this is edutainment, because education can be sometimes a little bit boring. Entertainment is fun. So the mixture is education, edutainment, the mixture of education and entertainment, sorry. Okay. And so this is kind of a Karls thing.
So you can see there's a lot of thought and process that goes into what you guys are doing, because I think me being a viewer too, when we first seen, your guys' the first premiere, when it was like, remember 3 people were premiering it at down on 8th Street, and
I was there as well.
So we got to see a video, and we got to see roller coasters, and people were like, they're going to build this giant amusement park there. And that's not the case at every one of your guys' facilities, right? You have these other ideas like just the train and the slide. There's different scales,
for
right?
Smaller kids. Yeah, we do not have this thrill rides. There's no room for it at all. And we want to attract families, because the funny thing about Karls is that we do not take an entrance fee. There is no gate. You can enter Karls whenever you want to enter, and there is a lot of things to do without spending money. So you can really adjust by yourself if you want to spend money and how much you want to spend. If you want to go with a tractor ride or with this really small family coaster, of course you have to pay by ride, for example, $3 or whatever. You can have a day pass if you want. You can have even an annual pass. And the funny thing is, there are now about 250,000 Germans who have got an annual pass for Karls. And I promote right now on social media and so on and say, listen, you have got the annual pass. This pass will be also good in Oxnard. So if you want to go with a tractor ride, you can come over to California and go with a tractor ride in
That'd
Oxnard.
be cool to see, because we're gonna have a location
Yeah.
next to Karls Land, right? We're being built into the format of what's going to be developed here, which is really neat and awesome for us to be a part of the new. So if they do show up and visit, make sure they come into our, stop by the learning center.
They will. I really already
give them a tattoo and make sure they check in with the guppies when they visit from Germany. That'd be pretty cool to kind of,
because there are a lot of Germans. They really have always a plan that they want to go to California, visit California. But now we give them a reason and say, do it. Let's do it right now. And I really think that's quite a lot of people. We can cooperate with the hotels here, right here in Oxnard. They can visit you, and it will be great.
So people hear me as the guppy guy, and this last couple of years, I know even explaining to you guys, I know Axel's like, it's hard to keep up with what you do, of a visionary of me, myself. Like I work on the boat, so I understand tourism and commerce and how we all can how it benefits this area in so many different ways, from the tourism, again, the tax dollars that go in. We have the Channel Islands in their backyard. You could spend a weekend down here. We go to the cowboy camp for a day and then come visit the harbor.
I want to go for the cowboy camp when they will be next time, because I have to be a little bit earlier next time.
Yeah. Well, thank you, because I got a ticket from Axel, so I got to take my granddaughter down there. He invited me, man, so I got to go check that out. And but my point is, I see these visions coming. Yeah. I see this new modern way of things are going to be here without freaking people out that, oh, this is going to be like LA. No, like, have you been to Solvang? Do you ever go to Solvang up in Santa Barbara?
With Axel,
right. So I tell people, again, because I do a lot of I'm cheering for you guys, right? So when people walk in here and what's going on around here and what's going on, like I've been a spokesman for you guys on telling people what to expect, because some people have a small image of what they think it's going to be, and I give them more of a sensible visual of what you guys are here to create and what you've already created, and seeing the future of what it could be down here. So I try to do my best to explain, what you guys have created, your connection to Oxnard, and then again the vision of what this place could look like, without freaking people out, and how you guys again have thought of how this is going to look. So I usually say Solvang is kind of a way for people to idealize, like, you're not going to have huge amusement park rides. Maybe that was in one of their locations in Germany, but that's not their thought and idea.
We have got one big location close to Berlin, but the other locations are same like Oxnard, and playgrounds, for example, is important for us. Just playgrounds, simple playgrounds, beautiful playgrounds, indoor and outdoor. And you can have food, you can have funny food, of course, a lot of strawberry food as well. You can shop bread and jam and other things, and just have a 2-3 hours a nice time. It's very low threshold to enter Karls. It's not a problem. You can do it often, and it's
So am I right? Is it a 20-year agreement that you guys are getting in? Is there a time?
I'm not sure. No, it's a little bit longer, I guess. Really? I think there's a certain quantity of years, and then it's possible to prolong it longer.
And one of the cool reasons I wanted to mention that and talk to people about it is because, as I talk to people on, again, even when the social media posts go up and I'm defending, because I'm one of the only businesses down here, right? So when I'm saying, well, if these things are possible, then why does it look like this right now, right? Defending this new that's coming on, right? And talking about you guys are going to be running the whole outfit. So if something doesn't do well, you guys could switch a store out, right? Like it doesn't have an empty vacancy, right? Let's say you have a little, like a restaurant or something that's not doing the business that a business might not need. You guys get to switch it out. And again, we're not going to have empty buildings.
We can think then about something else, but we of course try to make sure that everything will work good.
Yeah, but I mean, versus location like where it is now, where you have these spots of empty vacancies because nobody's here. That won't be part of what you guys have, because it's going to be run by the whole.
It's in our hand, and we will make sure that everything will be working.
And I want people to hear that, the people that are saying it, because again, if the case of us having small businesses or people doing it now, if that was the case, we wouldn't have empty buildings in here right now, right? So just to kind of, again, defend the fact of why your guys' idea and your reasoning and your previous successes just seem to make a lot of sense for people that maybe didn't go to the all the different workshops that you guys offer to get, because I know there was people, locals, especially out here with our local mindedness, that want to keep things the same, but you guys spent time modifying and talking to the people, and they didn't maybe show up, so they don't know what's going on. They just see something on the internet and start jumping to a conclusion without actually getting the real story behind it or what's to be expected, So I spend, again, kind of showcasing your guys's.
Yeah, but I think after this years now, Axel worked a lot in this direction, and we talked to so many people. Axel especially talked to so many people,
yeah.
and I think right now the most of the people are really pro Karls.
You guys
that
are
is
definitely
what we feel.
Took people that might have been hesitant initially, and brought them over and said, yeah, this is wise, this is smart, so that's good that you guys did that. And again, I just want to give that credit to you guys here on the show, so people that are listening that didn't be a part of all that at least know that was there. Maybe they just missed it before they just
maybe you can come over to Germany before we open and to learn more about Karls.
What day?
When really, I serious. I would really love to show you Karls.
I would really love to go.
Come over to our head office and I will show you one or two of our Karl locations.
That'd be great. I'm serious.
Yeah, we will talking about that and make an appointment.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And then I know, again, this is me because, again, a visionary, not just the guppy guy, that we have our children's workbooks and stuff, right? And one day we were actually taking our workbooks and trying to translate them into German. So that way, if you were to take some of our stuff and put them in your stores, that we could get our books in German, and so they could do it. And
of course,
we actually have some interns now. One of them, she said, I want to learn she learns new languages, and she just learned French. And I thought, okay, maybe one of her assignments would be to translate our stuff into German for you to check it out. So yeah, man, it'd be good for us, again, not just the guppies, but again, I look at you guys as a model of forward thinking and growth, family legacy. My son just walked in, he's part of the family business. And I just think we could learn a lot, for like you said, what is your dream? Like, what is your vision? And to hear that from you, again, for me, it's important. And then I could share that with other people, like, look at, there's so much more into this than just the business side. That's great. But look at how this is. So people that have an imagination or a vision that they want to accomplish, maybe that'll give them some hope and make them want to trek out and get started,
But I feel even in this time when we worked on this project, I came several times to Oxnard, and I feel that there's a really great spirit right now in Oxnard. A lot of people who would like to develop something new and make things better, and I can see that.
Yeah. And I think you guys are going to help, like, regenerate.
Yeah, we try to do our part of it.
Yeah. Well, because again, if people are around, it's going to want to level up other parts of it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to play, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that's going to help with the morale and build it up. And there is, getting back to what you're saying again, and we do fishing and the stuff that we do, the importance of what people are wanting to spend their money on right now is experiences.
Of course.
Maybe the movie isn't the thing anymore. You can watch Netflix at home. Like, just because things are changing doesn't make it bad. You might have went to the drive-through in the 70s or 80s, and then you went to the regular movie theater, right, where you had popcorn. Like, we do, like, as we grow in technology and other things, that the new era want to spend some of their disposable income on more experiences. And that's what you guys are offering. That's something about forward thinking. So,
okay,
man, I know it's exciting. So what else, is there any plans on, I know I've been telling people, hopefully by January, the bulldozers are here. Is there any truth to when you guys might have a timing for when you start moving?
We are right now in our timeline. It's more or less in June next year.
June?
The thing with the bulldozers.
Okay.
but we,
because I have it, see the Noid up there, the bulldozers. Like, I've been keeping track. Whenever Axel comes in to talk to us, I write down these dates. So again, either I'm talking to people or I'm in the loop. But you can see I got the Noid right there, the Coastal Commission, the bulldozers by January 26th. So I'm excited for you guys.
We really, our goal is more or less because of the Olympic Games taking place. We want to be ready by that time. That is, for us, it's important, kind of, because I heard that the rowers would probably are training here in Oxnard, and so we want to be a small part of it as well.
Isn't it interesting? Again, you have this what Oxnard is, right? And as far as even the Chumash, the Native Americans that were here, this place is just, it's so mysterious and mystique, right? Like the Channel Islands and how many things happen. The cowboys, like this little Oxnard, like roads lead into this little country, Kentucky farm. This guy works for the port, one of the biggest ports in California that move cargo around the world. we have like 5 airports in this area, right? Camarillo, Santa Paula, Oxnard. Then you have LA and Burbank, but I mean, you have like all this in this little agriculture. But then again, when you're driving down, then there's the rest of the Pacific Ocean, right? Like you're at the end of the world. Yeah.
No, I also I feel this really special spirit of Oxnard. And yesterday I made a lot of pictures of these beautiful murals in the city of Oxnard on different places, and everywhere in the corner, which I like, of course, the most, that there is a little strawberry in the corner, no matter what kind of murals it is. And I feel really connected with that.
I gotta say that's probably we have these connectors, right? Because if I go somewhere, I left port cities. Like I go to San Pedro. I've been to Galveston, Texas. It's a port city too. I've been to New Orleans, and they had these ships that were coming through the Mississippi, right, while we're in this conference for the summit. So I'm visualizing and daydreaming. I'm a port city kid, so I know what you mean by that. When you're a strawberry guy, if you go somewhere, these things stand out to you. They're probably so meaningful,
Yeah, and what is really why we feel also really like at home here in Oxnard, because our head office, where our first farm started, is also where we live. I live there. Is the city of Rostock. Rostock is a port city at the Baltic Sea. And really, if you Google today how many inhabitants has the city of Rostock, 206,000. It's exactly the same like Oxnard.
Really?
And yeah, it's the same quantity. And it's for us, it's really that's why we feel kind of at home here. And we have got the same port. We have got the same quantity of the size of the city.
Wonder what the coordinates is like if you're to go around the globe. Are we
yeah,
in
no,
line with that too?
I did not check that,
we don't
but
line. Just wondering.
It must be more southly because it's much warmer.
Okay, it's warmer here than it is over there.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not in the summer. The summer is exactly more or less the same, but we have really strong winter. In January, February, we have got a lot of snow and minus degrees. And yeah.
All right. So when you fly me out there, or when we get out there, take me when it's the nice time to check out.
Yeah, maybe I think probably like May or June.
May or June. I'm ready to go. Bags are packed. That'd be cool. I like adventuring, man. Filming. So maybe I could do some of the documentary stuff, and we could film some of it and come back and make a little video. We have a full film crew now, and not saying take them all with me, but I could film.
I will show you our farm, our parks, everything.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Honest to God, I would love to check that out. I have one favor. Okay. When you go to take the picture with the shovels, right, for the groundbreaking, I gotta somehow get me in that picture. Put my little yellow hat on.
We will bring you in that picture, and we did not. I don't know if the right moment for that, when the bulldozers will come and we take things down, because then the action starts, or if the right moment would be after that, when we start building things up again. We can talk about it, and but for sure we need a celebration.
Yeah, whatever the celebration is at, because again, talk about legacy, man. Like there is, from the city of Port Hueneme, the Scots, the Bards. There are these old pictures, man, where these visionaries were there together when they built, to make the port, and they have them in like McDonald's here. They have these big photos, and I always want to think, man, if my grandkids could see me in one of the old pictures of the new Fisherman's Wharf in 100 years,
I have to make a note for this.
That it would be cool, man, to be in a picture, when they have those pictures up on the wall somewhere, and my grandkids could come in and look and say, look, that's my granddad right there. And he was a part of this, because again, I'm not just the guppy guy. I'm here for tourism, filmmaking, the stuff that we do for, we're 6 generations out here. So I feel like, again, we're rooted in the soil too. So to be part of a new era, but again, not just for the guppy guy, but to be a part of the future and what we do out here, that's what I'm meeting with the mayor like you are, and meeting with the port and other people to see me. I want to run for harbor commissioner, to be a part of really what goes on out here, not just a nonprofit that takes kids fishing. So that mean a lot to me.
And you can't imagine how many, because now from time to time we're talking with newspapers or TV stations in Germany that we're gonna go to California, to Oxnard, and build Karls. And they are so excited about it. And we already right now have got 3 TV stations who will come to Oxnard and want to make big productions about this, doing until the opening.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really, the people are fascinated about this.
Because I think again, for you guys to see it, it's important. It's like kind of Americana, but like to see people build something and construct. I like to watch those shows like How's It Built or The Legacy or Food That Built America. Like we have this fascination of that we like to document and watch.
Sure, it's always inspiring for me as well. I also love this kind of stories. I am reading a lot of books about other histories of new companies, for example.
Exactly. Yeah. There's
always,
a show.
Always inspiring. Yeah.
And we got one right here. You know how cool that is? No, seriously, because there is a show called The Food That Built America, and I'll veg it and watch it. It talks about McDonald's and cars and Post versus Kellogg, and it's really, really cool. But again, for me, it's inspiring, right? Like I'm a visionary. I want to see it, see somebody that's doing it and knowing your history. Again, I'm not just supporting the build of this area, but also supporting again your guys's connection to Oxnard, your history here, how much you put into it. Like I look at that bigger picture, man. I know that's something I get from Kristen at the port she's always talking about the bigger picture, and you guys are building it, man. So it's really cool.
We are
I'm
really glad that we can be here.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give you some, when we opened up this facility, like I didn't know where I would do. It was really like a God moment, right? I was down at the sport fishing. I worked there part-time, and I was cleaning the windows off of a old building just to, it was on the shift and we weren't doing other stuff. So I thought, let me, I'll just clean these windows. And literally I felt God say, you should open up a learning center on this boardwalk. And I really stepped back and looked out the window, looked around like, anybody else hear that? And then I went inside and I told the guys, hey, I'm going to build a learning center next door in that empty building. So I met with the owner of the building. Or again, he's renting it from the county. It's still county property right down at Channel Island Sport Fishing. And we drew out this little map. We have it over there. We went in there with white paper and we were like, okay, we'll put this here and we'll put this over here. And then one of the guys I worked with went home and made it into a little illustration. So I met with them and he said, I can't let you do that here because the building's so old that if you start opening it up, it could cause issues. He said, why don't you go talk to the harbor over there? So then I called Jeff Arnold, and Jeff Arnold showed me the spot and he showed me this one. We had just got $20,000 worth of funding and I opened the facility. I didn't think about how am I going to keep it open for 3 years. I thought this will work, but it built me as a business guy to say, okay, I got to raise funds and payroll. So it projected me, but it helped our organization grow. But I remember that feeling of you need to do this. And I went with it, man. And here we are now. And now we're going to be part of this new development and be here for the future. Again, that's what I mean. Destiny. Ooh, I'm going to circle that word, because it just feels like, the world that for what God has me wanting to do for my legacy and our family to be a part of this. If I wouldn't have made that initial leap of faith, to open these doors, wow. Goosebumps, man. Sorry. Get a little excited. So what else, man? Anything else you want to tell the people about to get ready for, invite them down? I think we talked about your history, your tie into Oxnard, the excitement you're looking at to start around June of next year.
For us, it was a really great moment. I made because, for us, when we come over from Germany, it's always this time change. So we
How
got
many
up
hours?
every 9.
9?
So every morning we got up at 4 o'clock and cannot sleep anymore because it's way too late in Germany already. And so I came here the day before yesterday when we arrived, and it was dark, still dark, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I made a TikTok video of this lighthouse with the new Karls logo to share it with our followers. And immediately 200,000 people watched this little 3-minute video, and they made a lot of comments, and they are so excited also about it. So I think this will really connect our followers, Karls in Germany, with people from California, and maybe also the other way around. Maybe also there are people from California visiting Karls and say, okay, maybe one day we go to visit Germany and look what Karls is over there like.
They do that, like Disneyland, where they say, hey, let's make this something that we do as a family every year. We had it here. Let's go visit and check off these little boxes. And that's, people are spending their money on experiences, right? Like something that they could really put those memories. Our thing is catch a memory with our kids, with our fishing program, right? And for people to make these memories and travel and see other parts right now, I think is important for people. See other people's cultures, see their environment, go together as a family, go together as a date, maybe go on your own just to go explore,
This morning, a guy from Germany, this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, a guy from Germany who knew my father. My father is not alive anymore since 2016, but he knew my father, also a strawberry grower. This guy who wrote me, and he said he saw my video, and he said, "Oh, if your father could see you right now, that you are in Oxnard," because my father loved Oxnard.
Did you cry? Did that make you
Yeah,
tear up?
it
Emotional?
made me really emotional.
Yeah.
And next time, because in my house I collect a lot of boxes with old pictures and stuff. And last time when I was searching for something, I found a buckle for the belt from my father, and it says Oxnard Farmer.
Really?
Oxnard Farmer. Next time I will wear it.
Yeah, you should. When you come down here, put it on.
Yeah, Oxnard Farmer.
When you did that thing at 4:00 in the morning, like, or you get the news that you got it, how does that make you feel, man? I mean, because one-on-one, I know there's some times as me where I'm doing something and I realize how far my company has taken me, where I have like a second. I do a lot of reflecting, I don't let the little things pass me by. So how does that make you feel when you're there and you said you've been through this stuff?
Really happy and proud. And I can feel like everybody who knows about it are getting touched by this story. It's really something amazing. Yeah. And now 5 years ago, when Axel and me went first time to this site, and now since 1 week there is this Karls logo at the lighthouse. It feels great.
Yeah, really. Gotta be, man. I hope you guys are feeling that. I'm trying to set this up so that people can understand that, because I know what that joy is like. And anybody that is thinking about starting something, we always have like a motivational moment on our show. Like anybody that listens to this and is on the fence of getting started or believing that they could do something, that to really go after it, right? And then when you feel that feeling, proud, and there's just between being proud and pride, but when you know that there's an accomplishment and all the work that went into it, and you had a vision and a dream, and you're the one that started it, helping create it, and then you get to see your baby, you know what I mean? I know what that's like to, and we encourage people that are listening for them to go out and give it a try, man. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? It could take, again, the pandemic in the middle of it, from a letter from somebody that got an article, like that's, by destiny and what goes on. So that way, when you hit that monumental moment, that you really stop and embrace, that moment. And like you said, how many people are going to be affected by it? You don't just, all right, on to the next. Like, you really submerge yourself for a minute in that feeling. So hope you guys got that at home, people. What else? Anything else you want to add? I know we covered a lot. Again, we're excited you're here. I know I want to go to Germany now.
Yeah, we will be back. Axel is here. He's living right now here in California. And
can I give you I know you know Axel. He's your guy. He really, you could tell if I was to be setting something like that, Axel would. I don't think ask for a better guy. I'm gonna give Axel a plug real quick. I think he's such a dynamic, spirit. You got like such a great individual that Axel is to talk and do it.
We are just lucky, because when people ask me in Germany, but Robert, how can you do that? Are you sure it's so far away? And are you sure that this is a good idea? I said, I can do it only because Axel is here. Yeah. If Axel would be not here, I cannot imagine to continue with this idea. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to.
So it's really important for us.
Yeah. When we talked to him and what he represents your company. Yeah. If I had somebody that was doing that for me, I'd want a guy like Axel. So you hear that, Axel? Like, that's the truth, man.
This morning, if maybe a little funny story, but to understand how deep we work and go to the details. This morning we went. My wife is here with my daughter and my son. They visited us. They arrived yesterday evening, and this morning we all together went to Dennis for breakfast. Mm-hmm. And we asked this waitress if it's okay when we bring our own strawberry jam, because Axel's wife, she tried 20 different California strawberry varieties. Which variety is the best for our strawberry jam? And we found one right now. And so we opened this jars in the Dennis and make the toast with our own strawberry jam, which Axel's wife did. She bought the strawberries here in Oxnard, and at home she cooked the strawberry jam, 20 different varieties. And we made the tasting now.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah. So
what
we really,
moment, man. What another memory and a moment right there. That's incredible.
Yeah, and we really love this ideas or this work is so much fun when we. A lot of people in Germany, they tell me, Robert, you have got this big company, 250 million. We make this year about $250 million revenue in Karls, and they say, why are you so into the details? You are in Germany. It's called micromanagement. Mm-hmm. What I do, and micromanagement is not cool, but I say, you know what? I love it. I love to be in these details. I love to touch the surface of a table and decide if I love this surface or if I do not. And the same with the strawberry jam or thousands of other details. That is what I love about my job.
Yeah.
And I do not want to have 20 managers who will take care of it, and I do what.
Well, that just means you're still part of the process. You know, me and Zach, because we walked the property, I was showing him it before you got here. You know, I was talking about, you know, when I was in corporate America, right, like working, I mean, you know, always seem like I'm hitting them over the head with a club. But when they first started it, John Otto, in his vision, right, and then when the bureaucracy took over, management or whatever, it watered down the chowder, right, and to be a part of all of these decisions, I don't know if that's the same term as micromanaging versus being in the front line of what you want and what you expect. I think I got the same issue. You know, there's a standard that you're going to hold, you know, and I think that's important because that's what keeps the real recipe in place, is that you're in there on all the decision making, that you're not leaving it to everybody else while you just run around and enjoy your living that you made, right? That you're still in the mix, making sure that nothing slips, you know, so.
And it's a fun part of the job.
Yeah.
That is what I love.
You're never going to want to give that up. You're going to be like 80 years old walking around tasting it. And that's
I
what's
want
to
to do it all the time.
Yeah, it keeps you alive, right?
Yeah.
Again, if you're listening, the things that make you jump out of bed and get started, again, is when you're passionate about what you do. And we say, do what you love and love what you do. And you'll see the passion that you have and want to be involved in the operations on a daily basis, you know? Let me ask you another question before we wrap this up. You said your wife and your kid here. Just tell our people too, like, what is that like to share these experiences, you know, with your family, you know?
It's great. You know, my wife, she's a yoga teacher, and my oldest daughter, I have 3 kids. She's starting her own chain of reformer Pilates studios in Berlin, in Germany, and they are here. They tried now, I think, 9 Pilates studios in Los Angeles, and today in Oxnard to learn something about Pilates studios in the States, and to collect some new experiences. And this is something totally different, like Karls, but in the same time, it's the same, because, you know, we can exchange these experiences and get curious about other ideas and talk about other ideas to run a business.
Give me that list, Scotty.
Yeah.
Right there. No, because you got your own words of success, like we have ours. Let me just read a couple, right? Because what you say, like your daughters are doing exactly what your dad did. They're coming out here to get instruction and wise counsel from people in California. So even when they're going to do that, they're still getting that knowledge, right? They're still seeking more knowledge to develop themselves. You have a consistency about you. You're getting your repetitions in. You said curiosity.
Curiosity is my favorite word.
Yeah, see, it's right here.
I even you know, our above Karls, I needed to establish a company like a holding structure. I don't know holding, if I don't know the English word for it. Above our Karls companies, there's a holding to manage Karls. I founded this last year, and the name of the holding is Karls Fun Factory. And fun, 3 letters. Forever is English for forever. Unheilbar, uncurably, if you are ill and you cannot how do
you say?
Incurably. Curious. Neugierig is the word curious, and I love to be neugierig all the time, curious. Everything. I and I think this is really important for success, to stay curious.
That's good. I'm glad that you approved some of the words on my. See, these are our guppy development words, and we teach them. You know.
Yeah, they are.
Protect your
great.
brand. You know, your effort, communication. Be bold. You know, be righteous. So what you're doing is, you know, you're not screwing anybody over on the process of what you're doing. And then don't be basic, right? Think of new stuff.
Yeah.
Be innovative, right? Curiosity. So
why be basic? Great. Yeah, I love this list.
Yeah, we give those to the guppies that come through. That go through our Oceans of Opportunity program for developing impactful leaders. And again, that's just some philosophy that.
Great.
Some of those words, and you'll probably be successful in your own right too, right? Success for everybody's a little different, but if it's your vision and your plan and you stick to that, you'll stand out at 4:00 in the morning doing a TikTok video on the side of Channel Islands Boulevard, showcasing your new image, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. All right. That's 45 minutes, man. We're just about there.
All right.
Any piece of advice? We always have our guests leave our listeners with like a little motivation or piece of advice that you could give them.
I stick to stay curious. That is a good advice, I think, because then if you keep asking questions, then life is always really big fun and part of big success.
Big fun. Those 3 letters, right? You know what he said. All right. Thank you so much, Robert. We appreciate it, man.
You.
All the best,
Thank
man.
you.
We're super excited you guys coming in, helping change, revamp, the NARD, and again, continued success. However we could be a supporter or help, and definitely want to go to Don't Let That Germany visit, get out of range. But I'm really happy for you guys, man, and thank you for being a part of this new growth. And again, I think I said I'm excited 4 times. So again, really, we were all pumping. I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but when we went to the Coastal Commission, it was us, the HBCA ladies, Tripp was there, Ernie, his helper, and it was just like, and the people there too were just so excited to approve this.
I was sitting in front of my iPad in my bathroom. It's almost midnight, and then they made this lunch break.
Yeah.
And I got tired a little bit, but I had to speak at least two minutes to say some words in this meeting. And I said, what am I gonna do now? Because I was afraid during this lunch break that I'm gonna fall asleep, and then I decided to go 1 hour for sport in the midnight. And after that, I had my little 2 minutes via Zoom.
Wow, hear that? That's dedication. Up till midnight, get a little burst of energy to get your 2 minutes in to speak, and that's what it takes, man. Sometimes just that. But it was cool to see, man. We're in some old rickety building in Calabasas. I don't know how they picked that location.
The ranch in Calabasas, yeah, Axel told me about it.
Yeah, but it was like off some beaten path, and it was like it had to be held here. It looked like the house in Beetlejuice, right? The one that they took over, some white building on a hill with nothing around it. Like who found this
plot?
But
kind of cool.
It was cool.
I would have been.
Yeah, it was like
love to be there.
Yeah, it was like a 1920s old church or something, and they had all these wires ran to it with all these things. Anyway, it was a sight. It was a sight, and I got to see it, and we got to take pictures on the white steps in front of it.
Axel sent me the picture.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff, man.
Got it.
And it was a lot of you could feel that excitement and buzz for you guys. So, all right, we'll wrap that up. All right, Barry, get us out of here before I keep talking. Thank you so much, Robert. Karls Land, check it out.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right.
To learn more about Real Guppy Outdoors, please visit www.communitykevin.com. Brought to you by AftCo Fishing Apparel and Tackle, designed to perform. Channel Islands Sport Fishing, offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats, and more. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. See what's out there. Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.